Our solar system is full of amazing things, from scorching hot gas giants to bizarre worlds made of ice and rock. So, how much do you really know about it? Let's test your knowledge with some cool facts you may not know. Number 20. Most of the action. The vast majority of all the mass in our solar system is contained within just one of its members, the Sun. This huge ball of burning plasma contains 99.8% of the total mass of everything in our planetary system, including the 8 planets and their many moons, dwarf planets, like Pluto, and countless rocks and dust. It's safe to say that without the Sun, we wouldn't be here. Number 19. Backwards rotation. Of the 8 planets in our solar system, only one rotates in the opposite direction from the others. That planet is Venus. And because it rotates so slowly, a day on Venus is longer than its year. A day on Venus lasts for 243 Earth days, while a Venusian year lasts for 225 Earth days. What makes this even weirder is that Venus is also the slowest planet in the solar system. When it comes to spinning on its axis, it takes Venus 24 days to rotate once, which is 9 times slower than the Earth. Number 18. Tallest mountain. Olympus Mons on Mars is the tallest mountain in the solar system. But it's not your typical mountain range. Instead of being formed by tectonic plate movement, Olympus Mons is a shield volcano formed by hundreds of layers of lava flow. If you tried to climb it, you would have a very long way to go. At its base, it's about 370 miles across and rises 13 miles up from the Martian surface. To put that into perspective, Everest is half the height of Olympus Mons and Mauna Kea, the tallest mountain on Earth. When measured from its base on the ocean floor, is less than a third the height of Olympus. Number 17. Giant storm. Jupiter's most famous feature is probably its great red spot. This massive storm is a high-pressure zone that has been raging on the planet for centuries. It is so large that Earth could fit inside it more than 1,300 times. The storm is so big that if it were on Earth, it could circle the planet at the equator more than twice. The Great Red Spot was first discovered in 1878 and has been observed continuously ever since. We don't know exactly how long it has been around or what causes it to stay so strong for so long. Number 16. Light as a feather. You may think that Saturn is the least dense planet, but that's not quite right. Saturn is actually more dense than both Jupiter and Neptune. So why does it look like it's made of feathers and float in water? Well, it has to do with the fact that Saturn is mostly made up of hydrogen and helium, which are very lightweight elements. If you could somehow get past Saturn's thick atmosphere, you would find that it has no solid surface at all. Instead, it's just a giant ball of gas. If you tried to stand on it, you would sink right through. Saturn is about 95 times the mass of Earth, but only slightly larger in volume, so it's not as heavy as you might expect. In fact, Saturn could float in water if it were somehow transported there. Number 15. Sideways spin. Uranus is the only planet in the solar system that spins on its side. Most planets, including Earth, spin on their axes with almost no tilt. However, Uranus is spinning almost perfectly on its side relative to the Sun. Scientists think that something huge has crashed into Uranus in the past, knocking it off its axis. They also think that this impact may have occurred fairly recently in astronomical terms. Evidence for this theory includes the fact that Uranus rings are tilted at almost the same angle as the planet's axis of rotation. Number 14. Supersonic winds. Neptune has the strongest winds that have ever been recorded in the solar system. These supersonic winds can reach speeds of more than 1,300 miles per hour. For comparison, the fastest speed ever recorded on Earth is about 200 miles per hour. The winds are caused by the planet's rapid rotation and its strong temperature gradients. The winds on Neptune are so powerful that they can pick up solid objects and hurl them for miles. Number 13. Extreme temperatures. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun, but it's not as hot as you might think. In fact, the average temperature on Mercury is about 300 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about the same as the average temperature on Earth. However, Mercury experiences extreme temperature swings from one day to the next. During the day, the temperature on Mercury can reach over 800 degrees Fahrenheit, but at night, it can drop to negative 290 degrees Fahrenheit. Those are some extreme temperatures. Number 12. The only home. For all that we know, Earth is the only planet in the solar system that has life. There are a few places in our solar system that may have life, but nowhere else has anything close to the abundance and diversity of life that exists on Earth. However, just because we haven't found life elsewhere doesn't mean it's not out there. In fact, scientists believe that there are probably more planets with life in the universe than planets without life. We just haven't found them yet. The nearest place to Earth that could potentially support life is the planet Mars. Mars is a cold desert planet with a thin atmosphere, but there is evidence that it was once much warmer and wetter. Scientists think that if life did evolve on Mars, it would likely be very different from life on Earth. Number 11. Water elsewhere. While Earth is the only planet we know of with life, it may not be the only planet in the solar system with water. In fact, scientists have found evidence of water on Mars, Venus, and even Mercury. On Mars, there is evidence of past liquid water on the surface, and scientists think that there may still be liquid water beneath the surface. On Venus, the thick atmosphere creates a runaway greenhouse effect that makes the planet extremely hot. But closer to the top of the atmosphere, conditions are much cooler and wetter. Scientists think that there may be clouds of water vapor in Venus's atmosphere, and those clouds could contain more water than all of the water on Earth. On Mercury, scientists think that there may be water ice in the permanently shadowed craters at the poles. Number 10. Heart-shaped. Pluto may be a dwarf planet, but it's still pretty amazing. In 2015, scientists discovered a glacier on Pluto that is shaped like a heart. The glacier is about the size of Texas and is made of nitrogen ice. Scientists think that the glacier formed when nitrogen ice flowed downhill, just like glaciers made of water ice. This discovery was one of the many amazing discoveries made by the New Horizons spacecraft. When it flew by Pluto in 2015, the spacecraft had been traveling for 9 years to reach Pluto and had flown by several other dwarf planets along the way. Number 9. Underground oceans. Several of the moons in the solar system have oceans beneath their surface. The most well-known of these is Europa, a moon of Jupiter. Europa has a cracked ice shell that hides a vast ocean of liquid water. Scientists think that this ocean could contain more than twice as much water as all of the water on Earth. Ganymede and Enceladus also have hidden oceans beneath their surfaces. Scientists are excited about these moons because they could potentially harbor life. We know that there is water on these moons, and we know that there is water on Earth. So it is possible that the conditions that led to life on Earth could also lead to life on these moons. Number 8. Mostly empty. Asteroid belts aren't like the asteroid field in Star Wars. Yes, there are tons of asteroids floating around in our solar system, but honestly, most of it is just empty space. The asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter is about 300 million miles wide, but contains fewer than 1 million asteroids. In fact, most of the asteroids in the asteroid belt are small, rocky bodies that are only a few miles across. The largest asteroid in the asteroid belt is Ceres, which is about 30 miles across. Number 7. Age. Our solar system is about 4.6 billion years old. That's a lot of time for amazing things to happen. Our solar system formed from a giant cloud of gas and dust that collapsed in on itself. As the cloud collapsed, it began to spin and flatten into a disk. The sun formed in the center of the disk, and the planets formed from the leftover material. Scientists think that the solar system was a very different place when it was young. The planets were hot and covered in volcanoes. There were also many more comets and asteroids than there are today. Over time, the solar system has settled down, and we have ended up with the planets and other objects that we know today. Number 6. Moving apart. The moon is moving away from Earth every year. It may seem like a small change, but over billions of years, it will have a significant impact on our planet. The moon is currently about 3,474 miles from Earth, but in 50 million years, it will be about 50 miles farther away. Eventually, the moon will be so far away that it will no longer be able to stabilize Earth's climate, and tides will be much smaller. Number 5. Solar flares. Solar flares can sometimes disrupt important technologies on Earth. These massive bursts of energy can interfere with radio communications and damage satellites. When a solar flare hits Earth, it can cause a geomagnetic storm that disrupts our planet's magnetic field. This can damage infrastructure such as power grids and pipelines. Solar flares are a natural phenomenon that happens on the sun all the time, but they can be dangerous for us here on Earth. Number 4. From the Oort cloud. Comets are icy leftovers from the formation of our solar system. They come from a mysterious region called the Oort cloud, which is located far beyond the orbit of Pluto. The Oort cloud is thought to be a sphere of icy rocks that is about 1,000 times the distance from the Sun to Earth. Comets are born in the Oort cloud, and then they are kicked out by something, perhaps a rogue planet or a star that passes too close. Once a comet leaves the Oort cloud, it begins a long journey around the solar system. It may take thousands or even millions of years for a comet to make one complete orbit. When a comet gets close to the Sun, it begins to heat up and release gas and dust. This forms a tail that can stretch for millions of miles. Number 3. Kuiper Belt. The Kuiper Belt is a region beyond the orbit of Neptune that contains many icy objects. This is where Pluto lives, and it's also where many comets are born. The Kuiper Belt is home to a variety of objects, including dwarf planets, comets, and Kuiper Belt objects. Dwarf planets are small round objects that orbit the Sun. There are several dwarf planets in the Kuiper Belt, including Pluto, Makemake, and Haumea. Comets are icy objects that orbit the Sun in highly elliptical paths. Many of the comets in our solar system come from the Kuiper Belt. Kuiper Belt objects are any object in the Kuiper Belt that is not a dwarf planet or a comet. KBOs come in all shapes and sizes and make up the vast majority of objects in the Kuiper Belt. Number 2. Red giant. In about 5 billion years, the Sun will become a red giant. This means that it will expand to a huge size and engulf the inner planets, including Earth. So if you're planning on sticking around for the long haul, you should probably start making some backup plans. The Sun is currently about halfway through its life cycle. In another 5 billion years, it will run out of hydrogen fuel and collapse under its own gravity. It will then reignite and explode in a supernova. So we've got some time left, but not a lot. Number 1. Hidden planet. Some astronomers believe that there is a hidden planet in the outer solar system that is responsible for strange clustering of orbits in the Kuiper Belt. This planet, which has been dubbed Planet 9, is thought to be about 10 times the mass of Earth. Planet 9 is not real, but its orbit would explain some of the weird properties of the Kuiper Belt. More research is needed to confirm its existence. Do you know any facts about our solar system that weren't mentioned in this video? Share them with us in the comments below. And if you liked this video, check out our other videos about space and science. We have more videos coming on this topic. Be sure to subscribe for more awesome videos. And thanks for watching.